So I'm with my buddy Akon. Hey, Akon.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
So let's talk real quick about, I don't want to talk about world politics, but I want to talk about Africa.
Okay.
So Africa moving forward, what's the continent looking like? What's going to happen with that? It's just tons of countries.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to break out as a global leader soon, right?
100%.
What's it going to take?
What's it going to take actually is investment.
What kind of investment?
Like real solid investments. And I think, because Africa has everything that you need, really. Everything, I mean, it's the perfect place to create and rebuild now. Because if you think about the rest of the world, there's nothing else left to do. All the developed worlds, they're actually rewinding themselves and trying to recreate what they've already created, but moving it forward to the future, right? So Africa's in a position where it can literally leapfrog to the future.
Okay.
And start fresh. And in a prime example, let's say the energy process, right?
Right.
Where everyone is trying to get out of this whole, oil-dependent, economy and go into natural gases or solar or wind or anything basically outside of the basic oil, right? Because as you know, how much oil has created as far as conflict around the world.
Massive
Everything
problems.
that's going on in the world
Because
right
of
now
oil.
is based on oil.
Right.
Now imagine you just get rid of oil
Okay.
and use all the other resources.
Natural
of
resources.
energy. First of all, it'll delete all the fucking wars,
Mm-hmm.
get rid of all that problem. We will survive and live centuries a little longer than that we will now because of this global energy and global.
It's good for the planet.
It's
right?
great for the planet.
Climate
right?
change.
Period. And then when you look at the whole aspect of it, it creates a whole nother generation of real business that can be created.
And that's in Africa.
That's in Africa.
Because they're already kind of starting off of that place, right?
They're already starting it off there. Like this, the only thing missing in Africa is viable and solid, bankable projects.
So why hasn't it happened?
Well, because there's a lot of lack of education when it comes to Africa.
Being the people that are investing, not the Africans
No, not
themselves.
the Africans themselves. The Africans themselves are more than capable of running, pretty much, solidifying or actually engaging in whatever investments and bringing the upside.
They're doing it.
They're doing it. But the foreigners, whether it's the European, the
They're
United
not
States,
educated.
they're not educated to Africa. Now the Chinese are.
You've been working with a lot of Chinese out there.
100%. The reason why China works so well in Africa is because China, where they are today, where Africa is, that's where China was 20 years ago.
Oh, so
China understands what that is, and the cultures are very similar in Africa and also in China.
Okay, last thing, because we're going to be talking about this over the next couple of weeks, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Vacation location in Africa, it's probably one of the coolest places to go. Come on.
Man, it's
pick
so
something.
many places.
Surprises
It's
one.
hard. It's hard. Okay. Well, it's hard. Okay. This is what I would do. For anyone in America,
Okay.
if you go to Africa first, go to South Africa first. And the reason why I say that is because South Africa is a little bit more similar to the culture that they're used to. And slowly work your way
To where?
down.
What is one of the hidden gems? Come on.
Hidden gems,
What do you
Kenya.
Like? You love Kenya?
Oh my goodness, Kenya is like what they have when you look at the Maasai and you look at all the history and then you look at the culture, it shows you the history of Africa that still exists today, right? If you go to places like Senegal, only 6 hours from New York, same distance from New York to LA.
Wow.
You go to Ireland, it gives you the beginning of African American, where the slaves were shipped from the exact, a point of no return into
A lot of history.
a lot of history.
So over the next couple of weeks, you're going to be hanging out with Akon a lot more on the entrepreneurial side.
Entrepreneurial side.
Yeah,
We're
that's
getting
what
to
I want
the
you to know.
money-making side.
He's the business
The
guy.
business.
People may not know that. You might think about all the great songs, but he's a business guy. And I want you to know Akon from that side more than anything. Thanks for hanging out with me, buddy.
No, thank you, buddy.
All right,
All right,
more to
stay
come.
tuned.